I'm going to use the Mac version in this lecture just to mix it up. Switch over here. Okay, cool. All right, please click on the Help Videos icon right here. And on the left side here, we have videos for every single icon in Excel. Just click the navigation here and then click any ribbon. So let me first of all click here, and it takes me down to the Home tab down here, okay, or the Home ribbon, I should say. This is called a ribbon up here. Okay, and so I've got all of the ribbons here. So if we click right here on the Home ribbon, it takes you to my website, and here is a video on the entire home menu, every single icon. Okay, and if you scroll down below this video here on my website, you'll see clickable quick links to watch a video on each of the icons on the home menu right here. Let's go back to Excel. And of course, you can click on any of these ribbons here, okay, to also watch a different video on all of these icons here directly on my website. Okay. Now, if we go back to the top here, okay, the next column here is spreadsheet design. Okay. And if we scroll down, we have a color palette selector here, okay, for multicolor variants, as well as single color variants, and then a color wheel, okay, and then fonts, and then user interface designs here as well. Let's click up here on the color palette selector. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit here. Now, these are my favorite multicolor variants, okay, and if we scroll down, we have my favorite single color variants right here. And please use these palettes when designing your spreadsheet. So I'm currently using a number 34. Okay, this is the methodology I used right here. And I provide you with 48 different palettes. You see them here? There's tons of them, all the way up to 48. And these numbers on the colors here, okay, these numbers you see right here, these are called hex codes, H-E-X. And you can use them in Excel, Photoshop, or anywhere else. And the way it works is we can copy a random one here. Let me copy this one right here. Double click, right click, select copy. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this shape here that color. Okay. So I'll go up here to the bucket, more colors, and I will paste and hit OK. And I'll change it to that color right there. Let me hit Control Z to undo this. Now, if we select a random number palette here, just this one here, I guess, okay, then you scroll up to the top and over to the right, okay, you'll see here that I added that color variant here and all the colors that were in that color variant, okay, and this is so that you can create custom spreadsheets with different colors, and there'll be plenty of exercises on this topic later on, especially when we do dashboards. Okay, so all these codes are right here, and again, this is on the top of every single tab if you scroll over here. Okay, great. Now let me navigate to the color wheel. So let me go back here to help, and I'll go down here to color wheel. Great. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click this to get more real estate, and this here, I'll hide that as well. It might take a second. I'm clicking on number 1 there. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Again, only have this spreadsheet open and nothing else, please, except maybe a browser. Okay. So this is important because big companies spend a fortune on what I'm about to show you when it comes to their logos and graphic design. So Sir Isaac Newton discovered a lot of the color topics I'm going to teach you here by shining light through a prism. And that was before he wrote Dark Side of the Moon and before he invented gravity. Okay, there's 3 color principles that companies use that I want to teach you about. All right, number 1. All right, so if I left click on this teal arrow here, okay, left click 1 time, and then I left click on this little arrow here. See that little guy there? Looks like that. What I can do is I can grab a hold of this and I can spin this around, okay? And we use this to select colors and analyze colors so that we can make more amazing and not boring spreadsheet works of art. Okay, so the first of the 3 rules that I want to teach you is called opposites attract. Remember that song by Paula Abdul? Probably not. I'm dating myself. That was from the 80s, I think. Okay, but opposite colors, see the white part here, okay? Opposite colors on the wheel are attractive together. So if we look at this prop right here, okay? If we look at this prop, I'll angle it this way so that the light's better. There we go. If we look at this prop, colors that are opposite to each other are really attractive together. Okay, so like purple and yellow, like that. Okay, so remember that opposites attract. Okay, and that's what the LA Lakers actually have for their logo. Okay, so if we look at the two arrows here on the white part of the wheel, meaning color rule number 1, we see which colors look great together, okay, when you spin it. Okay, and I'll show you how to use these color codes. And if you select a random one, we're going to see the colors that these two arrows in the white shaded part of the circle work well together with. And I'll show you what that means in a minute in more detail. Okay, so these logos here on the right side for color rule number 1 are examples of logos that use opposite colors, like 7-Up, right, which is red and green right here. See there? And the LA Lakers, which I talked about. And then you've got Visa as well, which is right here, I think. Yeah, around there. Yeah, cool. All right, now if we look at rule number 1 on the color wheel right here, we're going to see color codes as well. Okay, so these are all color codes. And you want to make sure that if you use a dark version of a color, like this dark green, that you also use a dark version of red. Okay, if you use a light version, like a light pastel, use a light version up here as well. Okay, and I love pastel colors. Okay, and this stuff is fun, and it's crucial because your customer or your boss, you know, the first impression of the high quality of your work is of paramount importance. And you can always double click any item here, okay, just to copy and paste these at the hex codes here. Okay, all right, let's talk about rule number 2, and let me get rid of this to clear up the real estate. All right, so let me click here on the teal arrow. Here we go, and turn, whoops, Control Z. Click out more here. Okay, good. Whew, scary. All right, so let's talk about rule number 2, which is side-by-side colors. Side-by-side colors look great together. Okay, see here, the side-by-sides. All right, like MasterCard here. See these two colors here? And British Petroleum here, these greens, or green and yellow, I should say. And then PayPal as well. Okay, so if you look here at the beige, okay, or brown colored part of the wheel, and you spin this, you'll see great side-by-side color matches. Okay, the final rule here is a little bit more advanced for me. The final rule here is called triadic colors. Okay, and if you look at the middle here, sorry, that's upside down. Let me fix that for you. If you look at the middle here, you'll see the 3 colors that work together that are triadic. Okay, and it will point to all 3 of those. And examples of this are on the right here with Burger King, Fanta Fresh, as well as Firefox as well. Yeah. All right, let's put this to work. So if we go down here to row number 305, right here. Okay. And we select any color on the left here. Okay, so I selected purple, but that's actually a drop-down box right here. So if you select it, you pick any color you want to. So I pick purple. It's fine. And then on the right side here, you select what shade of that color is, like darkest shade or lightest shade, for example. I like that pastel right there. Okay. Then you'll see the color code right here, okay, which is up there. And then what I did was I applied all 3 color rules for you down here, okay, meaning color rule 1 for opposites attract right here, color rule 2 for side by side, and color rule number 3 for triadic here. Okay, great. Now, what you can do is you can copy and paste these if you want to. Okay, let's go down now to 342, row 342 right here. What you can do here is you can just manually type in or copy and paste from the color wheel any of those hex colors right here. Okay, and then I will help you with the 3 color rules down here below. Okay, now before moving on to fonts, if you ever wanted to know how I created a tab in the spreadsheet, again, you go up here. Actually, let me go over to another tab because I hid the top there. You go over here and you click how I made this tab. Okay, let me go back here and click on the right tab here. Again, please only have one spreadsheet open at a time. Okay, great. Let me go down here to fonts. Yay, here we are. Great. Okay, so you might be thinking, oh my gosh, Chris, this is totally overkill. It's not. And we need to think differently. And I say this with love in my heart as always, because we think about how we dress and what we say in an interview. And all this stuff here is visual communication. So these are my favorite fonts here. Now, that was a nerdy thing to say, I know. And they are called sans serif fonts, okay? Which, and sans is French for without, okay? So sans serif or sans serif means without serif. And serif fonts, per these red circles up here, okay, have more squiggly lines. It's hard to see, but if you're old, it's harder for me to visualize this stuff if there's squiggly lines, okay? It's harder to read for older people like me, and we want to appeal to the largest total addressable market as possible always. So serif fonts are bad. By contrast, these 6 fonts here are sans serif or sans serif fonts, meaning they don't have squiggly lines. So I recommend using these here. And if you select a font here, it's also reflected at the very top here. So let me go here and let me open this up as well. And if we scroll over here to the right, we can see the font that was selected right here. And I'll get to the user interface in a second. And again, this appears on every single tab. All right, let's now move on to the user interface parts of this tab here. Let me click here. Fun. Okay, good. Let me hide this again here. Okay. So what I've done for you here is I've created 6 user designs that I love and that I created for you that we will revisit in a lot of detail when we do the dashboards part of the course in part number 4.3. Okay. Lastly, for an index of comprehensive topics, okay, a list of comprehensive topics, you click here. Okay, click here on this help tab here, and it'll take you to a comprehensive list of all topics taught, sorted alphabetically and with many hyperlinks, etc. Okay, now since we are done with this tab, let me open this up. You can also hit the plus button there. What I want you to do is I want you to click right here to select done. And we're now 2% done of the course if you're in the all track. That's probably 1.6 rounded up as well. Thank you.